I decided to take Social Security early at the age of 62. This was a couple of years ago. But I don't consider myself retired by any means. I mean, I still coach one-on-one. I have an online course. I have this YouTube channel that takes 25 hours a week to create a 5-minute video. But the bottom line is that by having decided to take a Social Security early at 62, it gave me the freedom to do a lot of this stuff with a lot less stress involved. And the reason why I'm doing this video today, rather than talking about resumes or something, earlier this week I get an email from YouTube. It's a YouTube creators channel, and they're congratulating me on having uploaded my 200th video since this channel established. And I established this channel on January of 2023. So here we are, I'm doing this in July of 2024. It hasn't been that long, but I've already uploaded over 200 videos. And of those 200 videos, they primarily make up, career coaching wise, talking about resumes and LinkedIn and interviewing and job search strategies and mindsets. And I started to think, you know, at some point I'm going to probably run out of topics to talk about. And then I started thinking a little bit deeper into this and realized that, well, you know, my primary audience, you guys out there, are going to be in mid to late career. And I think a number of you may be in this same position, either approaching very quickly, or maybe you've already approached the age of 62, where you can take an early retirement, and you're considering that and maybe thinking about, well, you know, is this something that you might want to do, or are you going to feel like an outlier because you never waited until the full retirement of age of whether it's 66 or 67, or even if you wanted to go the maximum to 70. I started researching this week for this video because I thought I was an outlier, and what I discovered was that according to the Social Security Administration, and I've got a little chart right here that shows this, over 40% of men and almost 47% of women will opt to take early Social Security at the age of 62. And to me that was really surprising because I thought it would be like around 10%, if even that. But I guess there's a lot of people out there that are making that same decision. Us baby boomers, I guess you would say, is like, you know what, maybe it is time to walk away from, these stress-filled jobs and do something that is what I would say we're more passionate about, that would be more enjoyable in life. And so a little bit about my backstory. I mean, I never ever thought I would be where I'm at today, 15 years ago even. When I was early 50s, I decided to go back to school and get a master's degree because I thought maybe I might want to teach online college courses after I retire. It's something maybe fun to do. I just, look at a beach or something as I was grading papers. And so I decided to go to school and get a master's degree. And it was also something that was just more for self-fulfilling than anything else. I mean, that was the big reason. I mean, my boss thought I was crazy. I've talked about this in previous videos before, but it was just something that I wanted to do. And I ended up doing it in leadership. And about 3/4 of the way through that program, there was a class on executive coaching. And it just totally blew my mind because I had never even considered coaching I just never considered it. I mean, to me, coaching was Little League or basketball, but I really enjoyed that. And after I finished with the graduate program, I went into another program for 18 months and I became a credentialed coach. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to start doing this. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And in 2014, I was, I think, about 56 at the time. I don't know, somewhere around there. The company that I was working for, they went public. And although I loved my boss, I loved the team that I had, I just didn't enjoy my position anymore. It changed a lot. I was now, spending time talking to auditors and doing all these audits and stuff. And it just wasn't something that I really enjoyed anymore. And I thought, you know what? I had been very frugal with my bonuses, and I had been maximizing my 401k. And even though, I wasn't by any means able to retire, I was able to go ahead and step away from this and take a coaching business full time. And that's what I did. And that's how I got here today. But where I'm going with this is that even with that, it was kind of a struggle in the beginning. I mean, I did work with a couple of career transition companies. I worked with a nonprofit. These were all very, very short-term projects. I even drove for Uber for a little bit of time, just so I could coach, just so I could start building up the practice. And then when the age of 62 rolled around, and I was already pretty much, leveling off with my business, I mean, I was in a very comfortable stance. I said, you know what, I can go ahead and take early Social Security and really have the freedom to do what I'm doing. And since doing that, and one of the biggest freedoms that I have is I can be very selective with the clients that I choose. I still coach one-on-one, but I vet my clients a lot because I would rather them go in and take my online class, which I have, and I'll put a link to that in the upper right hand corner as well, just for self-promotion. But the bottom line is that I really value my free time. I mean, working on the YouTube channel, like I say, it's a good 20 hours a week. When I have clients, I'm, spending another several hours before and after I work with them. And then, of course, monitoring the online class on a daily basis and answering any emails and everything like that. I do have, a pretty full schedule. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I like it. In fact, I love it because I am doing what I'm passionate about. So my question to you, and I hope you can leave some, your thoughts in the comment section below, because a lot of you, I know my audience out there is mid to late professionals. Are you considering doing this? Are you thinking about maybe taking an early retirement and doing something that you really enjoy doing? And maybe we'll call that semi-retirement, where you'll be working for 15, 20 hours a week, and then the rest of the time you're doing something that you enjoy on a personal project, let's say photography or golf or scuba diving or whatever it may be out there. I would love to hear from you on this, because I'm thinking about doing another pivot, a third pivot. My first pivot was going from banking into technology. Then my second pivot was going from technology into coaching. And now I'm considering a third pivot, but still pretty much very, very slight pivot of talking more about, say, semi-retirement than just a full-fledged 100% business, if that makes sense. So I'd love to hear from you on that.